there's only three things that I'm really going to dwell on today, and it's about the fact that everybody here knows that I've told you countless times that God has formed you and made you. David said, I was fearfully and wonderfully made. Do you know what that means anyway? That means God put a lot of thought into you being created. God made every man, and because He's the greatest creator, the greatest visionary that man has ever known, He's placed and birthed inside of every person a vision of some sort, some size, or visions, plural. But the problem with that is we start thinking about the conduit. So the conduit has bought into the philosophy that I can't do it. And so we take the vision and we take it and we just tuck it away. We put it under something. It's still in there. And God, the whole time in heaven, no doubt, is shaking His head and wanting to know why. I made you a vessel of honor. I made you not only to pour into you salvation and the Holy Spirit, but I poured into you. I birthed that thing into you. And I dare say inside of this church today that there are people with ministry vision. There's people in here with business vision. There's people in here with cutting edge technological vision. There's all kind of vision in here, but you've settled down and settled in, and you've bought the lie from the devil that you're where you are, and you just need to kind of walk and just kind of tread and just mosey along through life with where you are. And a lot of you blame it on your age. A lot of you blame it on your health. A lot of you blame it on your lack of not biblical knowledge. A lot of you blame it on scars that you're wearing and things back there. A lot of you are blaming it on differences of opinion. And we will accept anything that will cause us to stop up the conduit. You know, if you ever go grab a piece of metal conduit, one of the first things you will see, if it sets up for any period of time, is that it runs a high risk of dirt daubers getting in there. And you know what dirt daubers do? They look like hornets, but they just make a mess. They just clog up piping and other things like that. And the thing, whether it's wiring or whatever that needs to get through there, can no longer pass because of a lack of maintenance. It's caused a problem, and now there's dirt in there. And unless you address the dirt, kill the dirt dauber, and address the dirt, there is no way that pipe, that conduit can be used. So you've got to realize what I am. What am I? I'm a vessel. I'm a vessel. I'm a piece of conduit. Either something's going through me or it's full of dirt and it's stopped up, because you're not going to withhold. Everybody in here, if you knew that was a true story. See what you couldn't see a while ago, when I was telling you the story about the young boys that were making fun of the guy, I saw a lot of heads. You were passionate about that. But when I turn it around and I tell you me, or I tell you think about your own self, then we just kind of, we think about it and then we just let it go. He didn't make you to sit back and just kind of tiptoe through life. He didn't make you to do that. He made some little animals to do that, but He made you to do greater things. He ought not to allow us to do anything, because we are sinners that can only be saved by grace. But He chose to let you do the greater things, and I don't have the choice. I can't sit on the side of the bank with my phone and just say, well, you need to let somebody else have vision and get that to you. I'm going to stand here with my homies and we're going to laugh about your dilemma. And see, we get so riled up about that, but we're doing it, church. You're doing it. When you don't trust God to step out and do something at school or at work or at home, when you do that, the dirt dauber of your life is coming in and he's trying to clog you. Do you know one of the most dangerous things the devil could ever face in your life as a believer is for you to understand that you are a piece of conduit that God is just waiting to push something through you that he's planted inside of you to start navigating what I have. I got to recognize what I am. I've got to understand what I can do. And then when you do those two things, when you recognize, listen to me, when you recognize what I am, I'm a vessel. Hey, you're not an antique. You're not. You're not a show and tell item. You are a vessel. You are a piece of conduit. When you take and you combine what you know you are, and I pray today that when you leave this church, you will know that you are a conduit. You take the knowledge of what I am, and then you team that with what I can do. So when I pair those together, I'm literally saying that, you know what? I can do me, not you, not a group of us, but me on an individual basis. I can do the greater things that God left me here to do because he said I'm the one he's leaving it. Not a rock, not a bird, not a fish, not a monkey, not a dog, not a tiger, not a bear, not anything. Not the plants. He said the greater things I'm leaving for you. You're my vessels. Those are my animals. Those are my things of nature. But you, I created you in my own image, and you can do the greater things. And when you combine knowing what you are and knowing what you do, then all you have left to do is to navigate that you have. We've been walking long enough. Wouldn't you agree with me? We've been walking long enough. We've been tolerating the dirt dauber long enough. But I would say that it's time for God's created people to have an attitude, it's time to run. Because when you run, you win. It's time for you to update your navigation. It's time for your navigation to start going, because I got this big thing. If you could just point it, that conduit, that vessel in the right direction, instead of me and we, him and them. If you could get it on me and them, then I can push this vision on through. I can make it come to pass. You can see the salvation of the Lord. If you could just do that. God, thank you for what I can do. And then you can understand. You can understand. It's so easy to navigate. So easy to navigate.